I have numerous companions in my circle who have polished yoga truly for a considerable length of time without rehearsing any yoga presence. My story is fairly comparative. Reflection, an inner limb of yoga. Numerous years prior I ruminated and played with a yoga reflection gathering. I utilize play in light of the fact that despite the fact that reflection is viewed as genuine, we picked fun and satisfying exercises that transformed us into a help network. In those young days, we sat with folded legs on the floor effectively and serenely. So let me write that announcement about not rehearsing yoga acts like a gathering. That capacity to sit still on the floor and to stand up standing and still I consider not one but rather two yoga presents. One action the gathering grasped was the age of rousing considerations, huge thoughts, or inciting questions. Every day another idea was composed on a board outside the contemplation focus and many halted to soak up drops of motivation. As of late an individual meditator reviewed her tale about beginning yoga, sharing, "I was feeling a misfortune, that something was absent in my life. I passed the temperance board every day, read it and it gave comfort, something worth mulling over." She uncovered this was the point at which she began breaking down life rather than simply existing every day. She started to head out that course to work just to read on board a more peculiar put-out. Interest drove her to the contemplation focus. That visit began her adventure with reflection and outsiders turned into her companions, a network. The meditator, a promising therapeutic yoga teacher. What might make a meditator with almost no involvement with represents a decent contender to show yoga for health? Despite the fact that there are numerous advantages, I will feature 3 that lead me to this end. Increasingly responsive personality, this implies having an expanded capacity to center and think. What a ripe situation for learning. Less reactivity, another significant gem in the gems box of the meditator is simply the capacity to put some separation among herself and a feeling. She is less responsive to circumstances and individuals. This power can be viewed as the capacity to acknowledge awkward states without responding naturally. That is advantage 2. Less worried, from time to time circumstances that make pressure spring up in a learning gathering. Somebody with a progressively receptive sensory system encounters its battle, flight, solidify reaction all the more regularly and uneasiness and misery. Learning requires receptivity. With a condition of preparation and an eagerness to learn and show essential postures, as I would like to think, a meditator is in fact qualified to embrace helpful yoga instructor preparing.